Exactly.
Fucking, I'm gutted. Like I fucking last week I jumped back into Forex and using C Trader you can't trade crypto over weekends, which on MetaTrader 4 you can. And I didn't realize, so I'm stuck in a trade until later tonight. So it should be interesting where it opens up. So it's either going to be good or bad.
What's it on at the minute?
What you trading, Dean? Bitcoin.
Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's been shooting up a lot, isn't it, recently?
Yeah, but I got in it Friday on a buy, and I think it's below my buy at the minute. When I last checked, it was anyway. I think I checked like 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, over weekends, it doesn't matter if you put a stop loss on it or whatever; it will just jump over it.
Yeah, so I learned that with gold.
Luckily, like the lot size it is, if it does jump over, it won't damage my account too much.
Uh-huh.
And it's same if it goes up. Like if it goes over my take profit, it won't be a massive amount either. Like because lot sizes with cryptos are really weird.
The crypto, yeah. Same with gold, isn't it? You got to move the decimal, haven't you?
Yeah, so weird. But I need to sort out my HFX account out as well. Literally just focused on Forex last week. I had some nice trades on Forex actually.
What have you been trading? Anything or just stick to certain pairs?
So I've got certain pairs set up on TradingView because I've been doing pitchforks. So I've got, I think it's 3 pairs I've got set up on TradingView, all with alerts on. So yeah, I don't want to focus on too many.
With the alerts on, how many actually setups do you get in the week? You're getting quite a few.
Yeah,
you're quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like literally each day smashing my daily target.
Really?
Like it's been a really good week for Forex. Like literally risking 1%, getting 3% per trade.
Yeah, that's the thing with Forex, isn't it? The risk to ratio reward is
really
good.
Yeah, that, do you know what? That's the one thing I've missed about Forex is the risk to reward ratio.
Yeah.
And like over this week, it's just reminded me how much. So.
Sorry guys, just waiting for my stupid iMac to load up PowerPoint. It's on time.
Yeah, I think I done like 5 trades throughout the week, and I lost 1. So I lost 1%, but gained 3, 6, 9, 12%.
It's good going, mate.
So yeah, I was well happy.
How many got on now?
That's a good question. 20.
20.
22 including me and you.
Nice.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh my god.
Guys, while we're waiting for things, feel free to ask questions, by the way.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat if you're not comfortable muting yourself, guys.
Yeah. Either way, it's all good.
Evening.
Hi, Ryan.
You're right, Brian.
Brian. Good, mate, you?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, bud.
Good.
How's everyone done with HFX over the weekend?
I haven't traded.
Taking
a break. Well, I've been busy, so didn't want to force stuff on. If the trade's not there, I'm not going to force it.
No,
so
definitely. Do you know what? I always think it's good to take a break anyway, because it's good just to relax.
I take breaks all the time. Even if it's like 1 or 2 losses, I take a break for about 3 days. I lose my head. Even though my mindset's really good, I just lose it. So I know how to control it. So just walk away and come back.
Yeah, two things I massively believe in is taking a break every so often and reward yourself.
Yeah.
So when you hit like a milestone,
Yeah.
reward yourself, buy yourself something nice, or
Nice Ferrari or something.
yeah,
Oh,
or
God.
I don't know, buy the family something like that. Just to
Yeah.
celebrate a little bit. It's always good.
Yeah, it's a reward. Nice. So, guys, you've got 1 to 17 on the screen. Everybody goes for number 7. We can go over it briefly, as we say every week, but it will take a long time. The best thing you can do to learn that is just literally go on those sessions. There's no other way that you can learn that a bit better. Other than that, not saying we can't go over it, but
I think for that one, leave it to the end. Simply because it does take up a lot of time generally with these sessions, and it kind of takes over the session.
Yeah.
So if we leave that to the end, and we can go over it at the end, and then just get the other bits out of the way first.
Yeah, no worries. So just add your number in the chat, guys, or if you want, just unmute yourself. Please don't be shy. Do not suffer in silence. We're here to help you all the way. Hold your hand.
There you go. Number 3 and 4.
3 and 4, funding Coinbase. Okay, and funding Grace option. Right. So Coinbase, have you? Who's asking? I don't know who. Sorry. Where's my chat?
Let me see. Is Carl? Have you already got Coinbase, Carl?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
I've set up TradingView. I'm just going to sort of fund the account this week at some point so I can start using demo. I've been learning for about 3 weeks now, so I wanted to get all the sort of fundamentals learned and before I started trading any money.
Yeah.
So,
what you can do, what you're probably going to find better before putting any money in is get a demo.
yeah, I wanted to do a good 2-3 weeks on demo before I even thought about trading live anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you'll generally find people that go in straight away with money, probably a good 80-90% of them will lose probably half their account straight away. And that's simply because of not understanding the strategy, not understanding the setups, not understanding timing. And then people will over leverage trying to chase trades. People will over trade. So yeah, I'd always say go demo first.
The only thing, what I was hearing you guys were saying beforehand was because it was you've got to fund Bitcoin, and is it something to do with Bitcoin, and then you've got to trade it straight away or transfer it over just in case the price drops?
Yeah, and the good thing about at the minute with Bitcoin is on a bull run. So the plan for Bitcoin is to go up. If it drops, it shouldn't be overly much, not enough to affect $250. You might lose the odd pound or something, but it won't be substantial. But generally, with Bitcoin being on a bull run, you'll actually probably find your funds going up more than anything.
Okay.
But what you need to do, because the transfer fees from your bank to Coinbase or Binance, whatever you use, the transfer fees take a bit slightly. So I always say do about $260, whether it be $26, £26, just to cover them transfer fees.
Okay.
And then when you've put the money in, you'll then have your $250.
Hayley's actually done a video, hasn't she, on the Facebook group, and it shows you how to do it all.
Yeah.
That's how I did it.
Yeah, there are videos. Coinbase, I know recently has been a bit of a pain in the ass for a few people regarding verification. So what I would probably say is maybe try Binance.
Yeah, I had the same issues with Coinbase. Would not accept the card. I had to fund it bank transfer to Binance.
Yeah.
Then transfer it to Bitcoin to fund race option.
Yeah. I set up a Binance the other day. Like I normally use Coinbase, but because all this stuff's been going on with cryptos and whatnot, and I wanted to buy some extras, I thought I'd set up a Binance, and it literally took me 2 minutes. Done my ID, and that was done within an hour.
Yeah,
so yeah, Binance generally seems to be really good. So I'd say use Binance and then just leave. Don't even worry about Coinbase, because for like the last few months they've been like really, really slow with verifying people. And obviously the last thing you want is waiting to start trading. Like especially when you're at the point where you're ready to trade, you then don't want to be waiting however many weeks to be actually fund your account.
Got anything else at the moment?
To be fair, Haley, we can talk about Forex stuff as well. Like, there's no reason why we can't talk about Forex. We can discuss both if people want to discuss anything Forex related. I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah, if there's people on here that want to speak Forex, it's totally
Yeah,
fine.
like we can talk about brokers, IC markets, Hugo's Way, whatever brokers. Then we can talk about trading platforms, whether it be MT4, C Trader. So yeah.
You know, on Trading View, when you're looking at that and you're looking at race option at the same time, so you have your two separate screens.
Yeah, mate.
What are you actually like looking at on race option?
What as in the chart wise?
Yeah, I understand what we're looking at on the Trading View, but obviously there's one on race option as well, isn't there?
Yeah. So you know you've got the entry numbers on the right hand side of Coinbase, not Coinbase, TradingView. Race option will have the same, but because they get a different broker feed, they might be sometimes slightly off, especially with crypto. So what you want to do is you always want to take notice of both numbers on TradingView and race option. So say Bitcoin's, like, you notice there's a big difference in the numbers between Bitcoin and crypto. I wouldn't trade it because it's either done the move or the broker we use on TradingView, generally Binance, they might be further behind. So that move might have already moved, or it might not move to that point. It might just stay low or high, depending whether it's a call or a put. What you're ideally looking for is for them to be matching or very similar, like that. You might, generally it's a pip or 2 pips difference, which isn't massive, but obviously with cryptos, like, pips are very different. Like a very small movement within crypto can be hundreds of pips. So yeah, always look out for that. And then you got to bear in mind they use a tick chart, which is a 1 second chart. So every second that will move, where we base our trades on 1 minute candles. So you got to remember there's going to be a lot of volatility within them 1 minute candles, because you got 60 1 second candles going into 1 minute candle. So you might not necessarily see it on TradingView, but you'll see sometimes a lot of fluctuation within, like now, for example, on race option, it's just had that spike up. It's quite a big spike, but it might not look that big on TradingView. So you always, when it's fluctuating like that, always avoid it. You want the markets to be running smoothly. You don't want to be getting in, especially Bitcoin. It can literally deadline, and then it will do like a little nudge. And if you enter on that little nudge and it literally comes down a millimeter, and trust me, it is so frustrating when it just carries on deadline and you lose, all because you got on that little nudge. If you notice moves like that, or it will just spike up and quickly wick down, avoid trades like that.
Would you avoid using rates option for trading crypto then on HFX?
No. I'd still trade crypto, but I wait for the market to be not as volatile. So if race option is like very going absolutely insane, like all of a sudden it will shoot up and then quickly drop back down, and it's doing that constantly, then I'll avoid it, because I know more than likely there's too much volatility in the market for me to actually make an accurate trade. Where if it's got nice movements of going up or down, then I know I can do a better technical analysis.
Race option now you'd avoid at all costs.
Sorry?
So on race option now you'd just avoid that altogether.
What chart have you got up there, Jason? Because
Bitcoin.
it depends what TradingView looks like.
It's Bitcoin, mate. Both these are Bitcoin.
Are they both Bitcoin? Are they on Heikin-Ashi or normal candles?
They're normal.
Do you mind whacking them on Heikin-Ashi for me? Let me get rid of that. Well, that I'll trade anyway. I wouldn't trade anyway because it's in consolidation. So you've got so it's in consolidation, and you've the last few candles have been indecision candles, meaning price doesn't know where it wants to be. So that's why it's got 2 wicks at either end. It doesn't know if it wants to go up or down. So yeah, it's not something I'd look. I'd for me when I trade HFX, I trade calls above the SMA. And I trade puts below the SMA because I know that's the trend. When it's above, I know it's in an uptrend. If it's below, I know it's in a downtrend. Me personally, I don't trade retracements, which I know some people do. But
What
for
is
me,
a retracement?
so this little candle here, this red one, that would be a retracement. It came down to the SMA, tried to break through, it didn't. And as you can see, it's then it's just come back up on the other 2 buy green candles. So I never sell above the SMA, and I never buy below the SMA. I like to keep things simple. It is like you want to make this as simple as just for yourselves as possible. Buy above, sell below. Keep it simple. You're then able to do better technical analysis. You're minimizing your risk then, because like that red candle with that massive wick, like depending where that broke within that trade, that could have you could have lost, all because you wanted to base it on a retracement. So they're never guaranteed if it's the opposite. So just keep it simple. Calls above, puts below.
So say on the TRI at about 28 minutes past 7. Yeah, that one there. Yeah. Whereabouts would you get into that trade? Would you get on it while it's still going through the SMA, or would you get it on the white candle?
So I would wait for, so potentially there, I wouldn't have got in on that because it's still below the SMA. It did close above, and then obviously it opened above. So this white surge candle opened above.
So would have you got in there?
It depends how long it took to break the resistance that would have been there. So obviously you got these red lines and these green lines, they're support and resistances. So there would have been one above that green candle, above that wick, just next to the surge candle. So if that white candle had broken within 5 to 8 seconds of it opening, meaning the whole candle pushed through within 5 to 8 seconds, then yeah, I would have got in. If not, then no. I generally only trade surge candles, but I always wait for the second one because it happens few and far between. But when you get one on your right, one on its own, as you can see with this one down the bottom, you get a massive indecision. So you don't always get massive indecisions, but it can lose momentum on the next candle. So I always generally trade on the second candle, on the second surge candle. But as long as it's, once again, maintaining the momentum and broke the resistance. So this one I wouldn't have done. This second one here I wouldn't have done because, as you can see, it had quite a big pullback. So the resistance came quite high. Then this second candle, to be fair, it probably opened up where it is now, and then over the minute, then pushed up and then pulled back within the last 5 to 10 seconds. So I wouldn't have traded that. What I'm looking for is in the last 5 to 8 seconds of a surge candle or any powerful candle, is for it to keep pushing. So always look for the last 5 to 8 seconds of a minute candle. Is it pushing? If it is, it means there's still momentum within the market. So it's still going to carry on within that trend. Is it withdrawing? If it is, then you know the next candle's not going to have as much momentum. So they're things I always look out for. Has anyone else got any questions?
No, nothing so far.
Let's have a look at the chat. No, nothing so far.
It doesn't have to be these guys. You can literally, if you've got
Yeah,
any
like,
other
yeah,
issues.
literally any questions, we're here.
Anything.
We're here to help.
15.
How do I compound my money? So, right, the thing, right, so what people get mixed up with straight away is they think about making money. The key success to trading is being consistent. When you're consistent, then look at compounding, because you're not going to be able to compound an account if you're not consistently winning. So this is why I always say to people, it doesn't matter how much you're making at the beginning, it's more important to be consistent. If you can get to a point where on a daily basis you're winning 8 out of 10 trades, you're then consistent. So you can then increase your percentage for that day, meaning you can then start compounding properly. Anyone new, I always say, if you're going to go live straight away, only risk $1 per trade. And people are like, oh, nah, that's not much. Because generally, from crypto, you're looking at a max about 70p return. So if you win, you get £1.70 or $1.70. And then if it's currency, you're looking at 185 return with a $1 kind of input, which to a lot of people isn't a lot, which is not. But it's about being consistent. Like, there's no point you using real money if you're just going to start losing it, because like I said, if you're losing money, you're then going to start over trading and everything like that. So always use a demo first, get consistent on demo, and then move on to the live, do $1 trades. Once you've done the $1 trades, then look at maybe risking 1%, going for then aiming for your 3% daily target. And then when you're consistent with 1%, look at doing maybe 1.5 to 2% per trade. Once again, once you're consistent, aim for that 3% daily. So you're doing it gradually. And this is why we say it's not a get rich quick, because you need to protect your account. And I say it all the time, treat this like you treat your business. You don't fuck around with your business. So don't fuck around with your trading account. At the end of the day, you've worked hard to put that money into this account that you're trading with. A lot of people are, I spend that in a weekend. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can spend it in a day, spend it in a weekend, whatever. Look after it. You want this to be your future. So don't take the piss out of it.
I've got a question, Dean.
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
I'm just looking at what's the chap called? Rob, his 5-point strategy.
Rob.
Reb.
Oh, Reb.
Reb. That's the one.
Yep.
On his last one, he says about trade entry. He says break previous structure or previous wick height. Previous structure, preferably.
Right. I haven't watched Rebs, I must admit. So I can ask him what he means by it. But I'm guessing by breaking structure, he means so on TradingView, when it's within a consolidation period, what you're waiting for is it to break structure. You're waiting for it to push out.
Push through the support or resistance.
So yeah, it's breaking structure. So you're then looking for it to either create a new higher high or a lower low.
Right. Right, yeah, I'll got it.
All right, bud.
Yeah.
But he's doing a live session tomorrow night. So what I can do before that is I can message him and get him to go over it properly. Like I haven't watched his lives, so I don't want to say anything he's doing. Like, I might be getting it wrong with what he meant. So what I can do is I can ask him on his live session tomorrow just to go over it, what he meant. So at least then there's that clear understanding. But generally with structure, you want it to have breakout periods where it's coming out of resistance or support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to the compounding stuff, there's a spreadsheet on the file section, by the way, in your Facebook section. So if you want to use it.
with the high risk, don't use it. Like obviously when you get to the big numbers, it does look very pretty. But once again, when you get to them bigger numbers, you're actually going to lower your risk. You're not going to increase it because you're going to want to protect your account even more. So say when you get to 10 grand, you're not going to risk 3% for one trade. You probably will risk just the 1%. But when your account's lower, you'll be like, yeah, I'll risk 2-3%. But as you've all seen, like the compounding is powerful, but it's only powerful when you're consistent with it. And that's where a lot of people fail, because they just can't be consistent. Like they'll over leverage, they'll over trade, they'll chase trades, all sorts.
We've got number 9, 2 and 3 options. When will I be eligible? So go on, Dean.
So 2 and 3, obviously, right? So we do try and help out the team as much as possible. When trying to help people 2 and 3, we at least try and get them at least one person. It just depends how many people come in. Like I've still got people under me that have been in, say, probably 5-6 months that I'm still helping. So it's never something quick. And I always say to people, especially on the Q&A sessions that I do, don't come in based in thinking we're going to be able to make you 2 and 3 straight away, because there's a lot of people that we try and help. But once again, like there will be a point in time where one of us will come to you and just be like, yeah, can we have your link? If you do get to a point where you're really struggling financially and you can't wait that long, then you can invite friends, family, whatever. Like if it works for you, then there's no reason why it can't work for anyone else. And it's the same vice versa. Even if it doesn't work for you and you are struggling, it doesn't mean it's not going to work for other people. Like people do things differently.
So when we say you do get to a point where you are ready to recommend 2 people and you want them to be your downlines, how do you go about doing that? You ask your upline for a link or something, do you?
No, you use your own link, mate.
Where'd you find that?
On the academy, it will say, what's it say again?
My referral link.
Yeah, it's like referral link, and then it's a second link, and that's your direct link.
Mine's a little bit different, but yours will say referral link. Your blue menu down the left hand side will be a little bit shorter. So where ours say my websites, yours will say my referral links. But this layout is exactly the same.
Yeah, and then it's a second link.
That's the one.
The first link is kind of like it takes you. Yeah, it's like a website. It's just where they can have a brief look at the academy, like, and just I think there's like a video.
With that, if you get 2 people to sign up, you're obviously free for a monthly subscription. Is it 2 a month? You get to sign up?
No. Right, as long as them 2 people stay as paying customers, you're free for however long they're in.
Oh right. Oh cool. I thought it was 2 a month.
No. Just 2 people. That's all.
Yeah.
So I think this is why people get a bit arsey with the whole kind of situation of the 2 and 3, because they probably do think, oh, we've got to bring in 2 people a month, but it's not. It's literally just 2 people. That is it. Then you're free for as long as they stay in.
Cool.
But guys, we don't expect anyone to do anything like that. Like I said, if it gets to a point where you are struggling to pay the monthly fees, like you're more than welcome to. Obviously, we'll do whatever we can to help you. But people do need to talk to us at the same time.
What about obviously it's tradesmen to forex traders? Do they have to be specifically tradesmen?
No. Jason owns his own taxi company.
Oh right.
Like to be like the group's growing bigger. Like as it's grown bigger, like more and people that have come in aren't in the trade, but the majority are tradesmen. But yeah, anyone can join us. That's fine.
What's Sean's plans for, say, when this does, which it will, when it does double, quadruple, become become a 1,000-person group, because it's hell of a lot bit going on in that Discord at the moment, isn't there? What, when there's 1,000 people in there?
It's going to be very entertaining, isn't it? We'll come to that bridge when we come. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Exactly like we have with the messenger. We put the trial group on hold for, I think it was like 2 weeks. We didn't let anyone in. We wanted to focus on the team, make sure there was a structure in place to make sure everyone was getting what was needed from us, really. And it would be exactly the same as the team grows. Like we'll just keep making sure the structure's staying in place. People are getting what they need, the support, the guidance, the education. Like, because at the end of the day, like, you guys are in, like, our main focus is making you guys successful. So, like, yeah, fair enough. We do answer comments and whatnot on the trial group. But as always, like, if you guys need anything in Discord, like, at least there's always someone that's going to reply.
What's the numbers on the trial group? How many people are on that?
2.9k.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So few, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got 193 waiting to come in as well. So that'll push us just over 3k in trial group.
Have you got any estimates for when you hit 1,000?
No. Like, I think at the minute we've currently got 223 people in the group.
Yeah, if you drew up like a time frame of when you reckons it'll hit that.
No. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Simple as.
It will.
It might, but it's not something we're pushing. Like, even the marketing, like we do the occasional post and that's it. Like we haven't done any. Like, I think the only person who's done a paid ad is Connor, and that's on Pitchforks.
Yeah.
He's the only person that's done a paid ad. Like, the rest is just literally, like, I'm part of Dad's Net. So if anyone ever talks about wanting to make extra money, then I'll just mention the group, because I know for me it's worked. So hopefully it'll work for others. If not, you know.
Dad's Net?
Sorry?
What's that? Dad's Net?
Yeah, Dad's Net. So if you're a dad, like, mums have their own one, Mum's Net. It can be very bitchy in there though, like really, really bitchy. I actually ended up on it. It was quite embarrassing.
What is it?
It's just a mum's social group, and Dad's Net is a dad's social group.
Oh, right.
Like, they literally discuss anything and everything.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to be fair, there's some decent people on there. There's a massive amount of people on there.
What's your personal preference for the best time to trade or currencies?
Depends when you're available to trade. So you've got the session crossovers. So you've got, there you go. I think Jason's about to go onto it. So really, you always want to trade these currencies within these time periods, because that's when you're going to have the most movements out of them.
Cool.
So bear in mind, this is GMT times. So our London session's 9 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. And then the crossovers 1 and 2 for London, New York. So if you trade in the morning, Australian pairs and New Zealand pairs are really good. You get a lot of movement within them. If you're trading, say, any time between 9 and probably 5, any USD pairs, Canadian pairs, GBP pairs, Euro pairs, they're really good. And then, like, late evening, you're probably looking at Japanese pairs, which once again just falls under New Zealand and Canadian and the Japanese yen anyway.
Cool.
But yeah, you always want to trade. You always want to try and trade the currency pairs that are in session, because that's when you're going to get the decent size moves, especially in Forex.
How long you been trading for, Dean?
literally, what is it? It's probably a year and a week now.
Do you just focus on HFX or do you do
Right.
Forex as well?
So originally I done Forex. I blew accounts. That was simply from jumping from strategy to strategy, trying to work out what I wanted to do. Then in August, I jumped over to HFX, blew an account because I was cocky and thought I would be the dog's bollocks at it. And I learned that the hard way, that it's not as simple as it looks. And then from then I've carried on doing HFX, and I have my losing days, don't get me wrong. But other than that, like I'm now at a point where as of July, I'll be going like full-time trading. I've started looking back into Forex again.
Hold up. It was part-time in July last week.
Part-time, was it? See, but now I'm doing Forex as well. So I plan on growing both accounts simultaneously, so side by side.
Got 2 questions. Can you teach us how to use a try indicator, and what's the difference with Forex and this?
Yeah, so with the try indicator, we'll go over that at the end because it generally takes up a lot of time with the session. So I just want to try and go through as many other questions as possible before going over the try indicator. So HFX is binary trading. So you pretty much you'll put in a put or a call within a certain time period. In our case, it's 1 minute, or I know Matt and Jason do it within 5 minutes, I do believe, and they use Fibonacci levels. So if the price is above a call, then you win however much. It'll be against the currency pair's volatility, so it'll be the percentage. We generally try and trade 80% above on currencies. And what was I going to say? And then Forex is based on pips, which is price in percentages, profit in percentages. So it's very different. Like Forex, you're generally in longer, unless you're a scalper. But generally with scalping, you're using bigger lot sizes because you're not going for as bigger trades. Like you're not going for as many pips. But so I done some pitchforks the other day, which is the Forex strategy we use. And Connor teaches, Justin's going to be looking to teach, and Carl's actually going to be doing some newbie sessions on it very soon. And I was in trades roughly, I think it was 4 hours for a couple of the trades. Some of the trades can be like 10, 15 minutes. It depends on the volatility of the currency. And all I do with that is I set an alert within the pitchforks where I think where I'd want to enter that price. I would then either set a buy limit or a sell limit. And once price hits that on my trading platform, I would automatically just be entered into that trade. So yeah, lot sizes can be really, really different. So the lowest lot size you can have is 0.01. And then I think the highest lot size you can have is like 100. It might even be higher. But then to be using like 100 lot size, you're easily looking at probably a 500 grand account, if not more. So yeah, there's quite a bit of difference. HFX is a lot more simple because you're just kind of predicting with the indicators where price is going to be within that time period, where Forex you're kind of predicting the actual movement of the market, where it's going to be within however long. Like when I've originally done trades, when I originally done Forex, I could be in trades for days waiting for it to hit my take profit, and it's a ball ache. So
the long game is start with HFX and move on to Forex, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy HFX, but I do look. The one thing I missed about Forex was drawing up the charts.
Yeah, Haley said on her session this morning, there's a lot more margin for profit on the forex. You can adjust.
Yeah,
you can adjust
massively.
stop profit in that.
Oh yeah, like literally. So the trades I won last week, as soon as it got into a certain percentage, I then just moved my stop loss into a take profit area. So even if the trade did reverse on me and it hit
You win
my
anyway.
yeah, I win either way, which is always nice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's loads of different things to do on forex. Like you can do patterns, you can do Fibonacci's, you could do support and resistance. You could do pitchforks, which is another form of Fibonacci's. Yeah, there's just so many options. You got banker strategy, which David Rutledge, Haley's partner, does, and he's very good at it. I know he's looking to do a couple of videos on it. So yeah, there's a lot of things different, like generally, but you do need like a different mindset for it, because being in a trade for hours, it can make your bum go,
Yeah.
especially if it's not the way you want it to go. What you'll generally find, so think of it like crypto. Do you know when we've been buying crypto, like that XRP one, and people were buying and buying and price got to 70 cents, then all of a sudden people just sold a fuckload because they got scared, right? Or they saw other people selling and they just didn't want to hold on, like they thought they were going to miss out. So it's the same with forex. Like if you're in a negative for say a couple of hours, people are just like, oh, it's not going to go my way, so they might just pull out and take the loss. So you've kind of got to go into a trade and kind of accept that you've already lost, and then you can't really be disappointed. And if you win, then it's awesome. But yeah, I always go into a trade thinking it's going to lose, because then I can't be disappointed by the result if it does lose. Is there any other questions?
No, not at the moment.
Has anyone got any other questions apart from how to use try?
I think that's the main one.
It is like the most popular question, but I just didn't want to take up the whole session just on one question.
Do you look into how the market's moving and like why, as far as obviously bankers and stuff control it and stuff? Do you try and get into that side of it?
HFX, no, because we're only generally in it for a minute. It doesn't really affect you. Forex, yes. Forex, we check any news. So we look for yellow flag news, orange flag news, and red flag news. And obviously, if it's orange flag and red flag news, then we avoid them currencies, maybe throughout the day or within that time period, because we know there's going to be a massive amount of volatility within that market. But with HFX, if you're just doing 1 minute trades, the likeliness is you don't really need to.
Yeah.
So with the try indicator, it helps you with resistances anyway. So if you're just seeing something consolidating on the chart, you're not going to trade it. You're going to want it to break out and create a higher high or a lower low, or a higher low or lower high, whatever. So until it does that, like at the minute, like it's just consolidating. It's below the SMA. There's a lot of indecision wicks going on. So yeah, you'd want it to break out of that area, which it's looking to do. But the Bollinger Bands are starting to close themselves back in. So who knows? Anyone else got any questions?
Yeah, I've got one. You know, when you're looking through currency pairs,
Yes, mate.
do you generally just stick to one while you're having a trading session, or do you like flick through a few, see which one's moving the most?
Generally, I only like to trade 1 or 2 pairs.
So just flick between two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're not the percentage I want them to be at, which is generally 80% above, I'll just wait a couple of hours and just go back to it.
You'd be looking at multiple currencies then.
Just one or two. Just one or two.
All right.
So I don't like doing too many currencies. I like to know what way the market's going within two. So when I done Forex, I looked at specific things. So I would trade all currencies, but I would only trade certain things. So I would only trade head and shoulder patterns. So it didn't matter what it was, whether it was in a massive uptrend or whatever. If I didn't see the head and shoulder pattern, I wouldn't trade it. And it's the same as HFX. I only do the two currencies. If it's not doing what I want it to do, then I just won't trade it. I'll just come back to it. But generally, I have surge candles alert set up. So that would have been actually a really nice move down. So I generally only try and trade surge candles because I know there's momentum within the market.
My missus said you sound really posh.
I sound really posh. That's nice of her.
Related to the Queen.
Yeah. God, it's the first time I've ever been called posh.
Posh nosh.
Posh nosh. I wouldn't mind a posh nosh.
There's a kebab house near mine called Posh Nosh.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I'll have to go visit it sometime. Oh, Jason, Katie said she loves you.
I'm not going to say anything back.
He's not going to say anything back. I don't even know what's been said. Like, this is probably some weird private joke between you sexual predators. Yeah, Jason Deitch, yeah.
Huh? No, not me then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you. Well, she was saying to you, but she was saying about Jason Deitch last night as well.
All right. What, she got a thing for Jason's, has she?
Yeah, she must do. You got a thing for Jason's?
You better change your name and thing.
Nah, fuck that. So it's our 2-year anniversary in fucking 2 days, so she knows to keep it safe.
At least
she knows not to step out of line within these 2 days. Especially
you just reminded her.
Yeah, 2 years is my longest relationship, so she knows.
Wait till you're at 12 year.
Wait until we're 12 year. Right. Has anyone got any questions?
Moving on swiftly.
Yeah, moving on swiftly.
Yeah, I got a question. Why does Katie love me?
Why do you love Jason? Oh, apparently you told her last time you loved her. When you were talking about Aaron's bum.
I don't remember. I got short-term memory.
He all of a sudden doesn't remember. She said convenient. Right, so should we go over this indicator?
Yeah, sweet.
Awesome. Right. What do you guys want to know about this indicator?
How the fuck
How does it work best? Yeah.
How does it work best?
Said nothing, wasn't it?
Right, so
just talk us through like what you do start to finish when you're looking at it, sort of thing.
Right. See, it's always different. Like, see, do you know what? I wouldn't mind if it was a Wednesday because currency markets are open Wednesdays. I'm not, and Bitcoin's not really doing much. Jason, do you mind looking on like Ethereum or something?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see a bit of movement. If you go to crypto, mate, there you go, and then just go to Binance.
Has it got a T on the end?
Yeah, it's
that one.
It's USDT.
Binance. Let it go. No, didn't come up.
Probably be quicker just to type in USDT.
Yeah.
There you go.
There goes that now.
Right. Okay. So
I've got a question about USDT. Is that just the crypto version of the US dollar?
the Teverus.
Yeah.
So Teverus is like a crypto, but it's government funded.
So is it a crypto or is it not?
Yeah,
It is, but it isn't, because generally cryptos aren't government funded, where Teverus is.
So it's like a government-backed crypto.
Yeah.
Government-backed version of the US dollar crypto.
Yeah. Basically, it's what they call a safe
I'll
coin,
take it pretty much just follows what the US dollar does.
pretty much.
Right.
All right. So here, obviously, we've had quite a bit of a push down. You've got the Bollinger Bands, which are starting to close in on each other, which are the two light blue lines on either side, meaning market structure is starting to consolidate. It means it's moving sideways. What I am looking for is I'm looking for a breakout of structure, meaning I want to see it either push through support or resistance. Obviously, it's above the SMA at the minute, so ideally I'd want it to push up above not just that little resistance, but these two resistances here. So what you got to remember, them resistances go all the way across, not just that one area. They go all the way across. And with them only being 1 minute resistances, they're not overly strong. The higher the time frame goes, the stronger resistance gets, because price is more powerful in larger numbers. So for me to take a trade on Ethereum right now, I'd want it to break all three of them resistances, because there's nothing. So it could happily break that first one, but then it could hit the second one and reject off it and push back down, which more likely you would then lose that trade. But if it can break all three, especially if it's just above and you get a new candle open above them, it's carrying on an uptrend. Where if it's just going to continue to consolidate, at some point it will break out. There's not much gap between these resistances. When you're trading, you want a decent amount of gap. Remember, you've got a candle go in there. So if it's too much of a short distance, especially if you're getting in the trade at, say, let's have a look. Okay, right. So say that I was hoping that candle was going to break resistance and close slightly above. Right. So say the next candle breaks that first resistance and it closes above, meaning a new candle then opens above it. There's nothing stopping it from bouncing up to that next resistance and just coming straight back down. So you need to see a good momentum of a few candles just to break out of that area, because there's too much consolidation.
Divergence and CMF, they're a good indicator of the momentum as well, aren't they?
Yeah, so not everyone uses them, but I like to use CMF and divergence. When you have them, you set them up the length 9 and the RSI period as 9, which is the same settings which the tri indicator uses. So then it's all in a line, and you can join them together, so they work as one.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
Do the settings for CMF and divergence.
So if you go to the left-hand side where it says the name of it, there's a little settings button. You want to change the length to 9 on CMF, and on divergence, the RSI period to 9.
How do you join the two of them together?
You literally just click. If you just hover over the purple line, it will create like a little hand, or you can move pane up and down. I just drag them over each other.
Mm-hmm.
and then they just overlap.
What are you looking for between them two?
What you want is them both going the same direction. You want to move in side by side, parallel.
Broken out.
Oh, yay, sweet. So, right. So what I'm going to be waiting for is the next candle, which will close in 40 seconds. It didn't break within 5 to 8 seconds, so I wouldn't have got in it. But what I'm waiting for is the next candle. So at the end of this, oh, 1 minute. At the end, within the last 5 to 10 seconds of this, I'm going to be watching what this candle's doing. Is it pushing down or is it pushing up? If it's pushing up, it generally means there's still really good momentum within the market. If it's pulling down, which it is at the minute, momentum's losing. There we go. So so as you saw, within the last couple of seconds, it had that little pull down, which gave this less momentum. So this will probably change color in a minute from not being a surge candle. But what you're ideally looking for is it to break above this this resistance within the first 5 to 8 seconds. As soon as it does, you can get in that trade. You also want to be looking at the CMF and divergence. You want them both going in the same direction. What you sometimes find is one will be going up, one will be going down, like they are kind of now at the minute. You want to be avoiding that because it's market unsure of not knowing where it wants to go. So where it's in the top bit, in the black bit, it's overbought, meaning at very soon, more likely it's going to come down because that currency has been overbought for too long within that period. And it's the same at the bottom, it's oversold. So it's been sold too much within that time period, so it's got to come back up. And then in the middle, you've got the 50% line, which realistically is the SMA line. So just like the SMA, price can bounce off it or it can pass through. Sometimes what you'll notice, either the divergence or the CMF will go through it, and one will just bounce off it and go back down or go the opposite way. So you're always looking to avoid trades like that because you know there's not something right going on within the market. So like now you've got an indecision candle, you've got the divergence pointing down, you've got shaking money flow going up. So you know the overall trend should be pushing down, but you've still got a bit of money within that buy-in zone. So that's why it's staying up there. For people who want to know what bull means, that just means it's within an uptrend, it's on a bull market. Bear is bear market, so it's on a downtrend. So this is what you'd class as a retracement trade. This is something I wouldn't do. So generally with a retracement, you'd get the indecision candle, and then you'd want the next candle to be a flat top. So the top of the candle's flat, pushing down towards the SMA. And people would generally get in within that trade, and then they would want it to bounce back off the SMA and carry on up. But as you can see, it can go badly quite quickly. So if you had got in that, you would have lost. This is why I don't trade.
I did.
Oh, that's why I don't trade retracement trades, because they're just.
I was watching one of Sean's sessions the other day, and he said when he gets a slight indecision candle like that, and the next one opens up lower than the body or the wick of that indecision candle, then he'd go for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've done something wrong now. I haven't done exactly what he said, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway.
Yeah, I don't. Cheers, Brian.
Yeah, I'm only fucking around with ones on the demo account.
Yeah. Do you know what? Anything you do on demo, it's always a learning experience. So, like, it doesn't matter if you lose, win, or whatever. It's demo, isn't it? But it's always good for you guys to try new things. Like Jason and Matt, like the way they use the try indicator with the Fibonacci's, like they've adapted it in their own kind of way, and you guys will do the same sort of thing. No one trades exactly the same way. You'll put your own little spin on it and make it work for you. Like for some people, they won't enjoy trading a minute trade, or they just won't be able to get the hang of it. Some people might do 2-minute trades, 3-minute trades, 5-minute trades, 10-minute trades, whatever. It's all about making what's best for you. So within this area here, so within the next 33 seconds, I want to see it push up a bit more, because I want it to break this next resistance. Or even it could stay there and I'd be quite happy, simply because then the next candle I'm hoping would then kind of open above that resistance there and push through both of them, which it didn't. it's just bounced off resistance. But then what it's doing now, if it comes back down to the SMA, it's just creating a lower high. So it's just completing an uptrend. It's adding to that uptrend. And it's going to happen. Like a chart never goes just straight up. It's like a wave. It just goes. So it'll go up to a certain point, come down generally to the SMA. It might sometimes come slightly below the SMA and then retrace back up. Yeah, exactly what Jason's drawing now. And that's an uptrend. Like they're never straightforward, especially when you get onto the bigger time frames. They can look very different. IQ sent for what? Yeah, IQ sent to broker.
At what point would you enter the trade then? Like I said, say you see that 5 to 8 seconds of momentum before the end of that first week, would you enter it as soon as it gets to the second week then, or just wait to see where it's still
right? So it would have to break this resistance.
Yeah, say if it did, as soon as it's broke that resistance, would you then enter it on the next candle?
No, I would. If it broke within 5 to 8 seconds of that candle, then I'd be getting in then. Yeah, I wouldn't be waiting for the next candle, because what you'll probably find is it could break that the candle you get in on. It could go however high, and then generally they have a slight retracement back, or it can continue pushing. If it has a slight retracement back, it's then going to create another resistance line. So you're then once again going to be waiting for another candle to break through it. Yeah. So you're always looking for the candle where it doesn't matter what candle it is, within the first 5 to 8 seconds, you want it to be breaking through that resistance or support line. As soon as it's broke within first to 5, 8 seconds of it opening up, and everything else is in order. So the CMF are in, the CMF and divergence are pointing the same direction, everything like that. And obviously, if you're putting it as a call, you want it above the SMA. If it's a put, you want it below. So you've got a good trade set up there.
Cool.
Where do the resistance and support line come from? They're built into the indicator, mate. So they're automatically put in.
I just carry mine on. So if you can, this is just my favorite toolbox on the top. So on the left, you've got all your tools down the left-hand side. So if you click on this, on each one, there's tiny little arrows that sticks out. So you can just click on the stars. That then goes to your favorites, which is this toolbox up here. So if you click on horizontal ray, which is this one, so you just hover over where I would class that as sort of major resistance there. So just click on that, and it'll follow it all the way through for you. So when you end up over here, you can refer back to that as being the resistant line, because obviously there's no point going all the way back and then all the way back over here trying to work stuff out. Just leave that line in. I do it all the time, because you'll be surprised how many times the market respects them areas.
Right. So with money, it moves in zones. So at the minute, it's in one. So say it's in zone A at the minute, right? So what what you might find is it might just consolidate in the middle of there for a little while and then retrace back to the SMA, which would be the bottom of the zone, and then back up to the top of the zone, break through, but then it will come retest the bottom of that zone, which would have originally been the top of that zone. So it's like stairs. Once you're above the stair, it's now the bottom of you. But when you're looking down at it, when you're looking up at it, it's above you. So money always moves within zones. So drawing support and resistance lines is always really beneficial. But you'll generally find when it breaks one of them resistance areas, it'll go up to a certain point, come back and retest that area. And if it's strong enough, it'll break through and carry on going back down. Or if it's not strong enough, it'll just retest off it and carry on going back up to the next resistance or support, depending whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend. But you could literally create trend lines. Jason, do you want to put in a couple of trend lines for me?
Mm-hmm. I sometimes drop it down to the 5 minute as well as time periods just to get a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah. And you'll notice price respects certain areas of the market.
To do this, I find it easy to take the try off. So if you just go to the top left and you click on the little eye, it'll hide it for you. So it just makes it a bit easier on the eye for you. So we can delete these for now.
So it has been on a downtrend for a little while, and
yeah.
It's now broken structure.
Let's go here maybe. It's not the best.
No, but it's because it's a 1 minute time frame.
Yeah.
So what you'd want is you'd want it to break out of that area. But what could happen is within this downtrend, this trend line, it could rebound off this and push back down and carry on the downtrend. If it was to break through that, it's then a good indication that it's going to carry on within an uptrend. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, trend lines are really good. But it's just one of them ones that, like, they're awesome for Forex because especially when you've been in a trade for a good few hours, it will help you decide where you want to go with that trade. It is good with HFX on the 1 minute, 3 minute, whatever, 5 minute. It depends if you just want to draw them up or you just want to stick with the try. But it's always like knowing when something's broken structure, you generally know. So if that breaks out of that structure and comes up above, I know it's going to come back down and retest that area. It's something that always happens. It has to retest and then it will go back up. Unless something on the news happens, then it could just fly up or it could just fly down, and then that just ruins the whole of your market structure. So generally, like this week's last week was NFP week, which was the non-farm payroll, which affects all the market, but generally it's primarily the USD pairs, simply because that's just the US government talking about benefits and everything like that. So generally, people won't trade Forex that week, and they definitely won't trade on a Friday because that's the actual day of NFP. So there's generally a lot of volatility within the market on the first Friday of each month. Has anyone got any questions? I know I've kind of gone over quite a few different things. But guys, you're not expected to retain everything all at once. Like these sessions are recorded, so if you ever need to come back and just feel like you've forgotten something, you can just come back and watch it. Like you know, it's towards the end of the session, so you know we're going to be discussing the try indicator. I'm just trying to think if there is anything else. Just going. Yeah, no worries, Jude. Cheers for coming on, bud. Appreciate it. Has anyone got any other questions regarding try indicator?
Obviously, no trades kind of guaranteed, but once you've got a good grasp of how the indicators work, how reliable would you say it is over 10 trades?
So out of 10
down to the person's reading it, and everyone reads it differently.
Yeah, it's a different. Ideally, you'd want to be winning at least 8 out of 10, but then realistically, you don't want to be doing 10 trades. Like I'd say the maximum anyone should be doing is like 5. Like HFX, I do 3 trades. If I win 2 in a row, I stop. But that's because I risk 3% per trade. The only time I do 3 is if I lose 1.
You're literally waiting for that perfect moment.
Yeah, literally. Like the thing is, like there's. Shut up, woman! You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Literally, there's so many setups. Like especially on the 1 minute, there's ridiculous amount. Like you haven't got to be eager and take every single opportunity. Like you look at this left hand side, this downtrend. Like so I wouldn't have gotten that first white candle. I would have gotten the second one. All right. So depending whether that broke within the first 5 to 8 seconds, that would have been a winning trade. The second one, once again, would have been a winning trade. Depending if it broke. Well, actually, it didn't actually break within the first 5 to. No, it didn't break. So I wouldn't have got in it. But the third one, that broke. So I possibly would have got in that one. So just there, you've got 2 potentially really good trades. And if you look at the CMF and divergence, they're both running parallel down, and they're not so much going that way down. There is a nice kind of flow of them going like that. So you know money is moving down. So just there, you've got 2 really good trades. So I think people get too eager to jump in trades. Literally, just like you can set alerts and you can just watch. You haven't necessarily got to take trades. And even if it was to win, you could, instead of kicking yourself thinking, oh, I wish I got in that, you just learn from it. So like, see, crypto's a difficult one because how volatile it can be. Where currencies, like there's generally a lot more structure to currency, where crypto there isn't. But I do a newbie session on Wednesdays, and I go over currencies, which will be a lot better. And obviously, I can go over different structures on Wednesday, and I could even maybe show you guys some patterns or whatever. See, and we can maybe see how they would work with try. You know. It's all about making stuff better for you guys. Like I said, not everyone's gonna enjoy the 1 minute. Like it sounds appealing because you're only in a trade for like 40 odd seconds, but for some people, like especially when you're using real money, like people get too nervous, and you can sometimes be overcautious or even over enthusiastic. So you're jumping in trades instead of thinking about was it the right move to do? Did it break through the resistance in line or the support in time? Was it above the SMA? Was shaking money flow and divergence in the same direction? Were they crossing over? Because when they're crossing over, you don't want that. You want them running parallel. I'm just trying to think what else. So yeah, as you can see, it's broke the trend here. So what I'll expect it to do, I expect it to go up a little bit and then come back and retrace and retest this trend line. And I should imagine it would probably carry on going up. But a good thing always as well is, a good thing to know always is, so where you've got Ethereum, Tether US, to the right hand side, you've got a bunch of numbers. So you've got an O with a bunch of numbers, a H with a bunch of numbers, L, C, bunch of numbers, and then in brackets you've got a plus 0.02. So you know the market's in an overall uptrend by 0.02%. And if it was in a downtrend, it would say minus, which is another good indication of market. Where is it? So that's something I always look for. Overall, is it in an uptrend or a downtrend? Has anyone else got any questions?
Academy, you're saying watch that. I don't know. You said doctor something.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I was going to show you, wasn't I?
Dr. Lee.
Yeah. How'd you get onto that?
Yeah, so if you just log in, mate, on the left, you should have your back office options. Click on the Go Live section on the left.
Yeah.
And then just wait for it to load. You'll have to log in again. And you choose.
Oh, you fucking dick.
Did you lose a trade, Cameron? No.
No, I've got a touchscreen laptop. I'll touch the screen and it fucked off.
Oh no.
Click on the.
It wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't really worthy that, oh, you fucking dick, to be fair.
You click on the HFX part, mate, in the blue.
Yeah.
And then on the left-hand side, you'll get different educators. So Dr. Joshua Lee, about halfway down, Brandon Boyd, very good. So a lot of people who you may have heard talking about Matty Pips, that's Matthew there, Matthew Thayer. The one for more of the academy education side is these two really. If you click on their favorite sessions, there's a lot of stuff in here you could be watching. Just sort of be careful because they've got their own strategy. Yeah, so try and just pick out what you need from it really. So what we got? So that's sort of basics, what we just covered slightly, how to draw and correctly use a trend line. For example, a trend line needs typically a minimum of 3 points. Support and resistance is another one there. How to mark them up. What else we got? I think there's one here, Fibonacci. If you want to use the Fibonacci tool, you won't really need that, to be honest. What else we got? Very, very basic how to use TradingView, I guess, if you're very new, trying to find your way around it all.
There you go. You've got trade entry reasons, break of structure candles, confirmation candles. That's good.
Price patterns, entry zones, price action.
Dr. Joshua Lee and Brandon Boyd.
Yeah, you got price action. Market structure to me is very, very important. That's the language that it's speaking to you. I always say, if you're able to read market structure, like Dean was saying early on, uptrend, downtrend, that's, it's a bit of a daft explanation, but I always say if you fall in the water, which way are you going to swim, with the trend or against it? So with the tide or against the tide. So you just go with the trend. They say trend is your friend. Yeah, just have a chop around there. There's a few more if you click over onto their recorded sessions. So the favorite ones, obviously, that speaks for itself. They think that's their best ones that we could learn from, but they've got a lot more on their recorded ones. There is a lot in here, so take your time with it. It's they've been doing it for years and years and years, and they're very, very good at it. Somebody else I would possibly recommend for market structure is Evan Cabral down here, so the second from the bottom. He's sort of very, very basic on market structure. And then you've got Millie at the top. So Millie Mills.
Good old Millie.
She's live at 5 p.m. our time, UK time. Yeah, so she's very good. But just try and stick. I know it's hard. It sounds like we contradict ourselves, but it's like stick to one thing, but go and learn sort of thing. It's just take what you want from it. You know, you'll soon add tools into your own toolbox that you need, and you'll say, "Oh, I don't like the Fibonacci. I don't use it," sort of thing. "I don't like trend lines. I don't use it." So you'll see, it's just trial and error. Unfortunately, that's why Forex does take a long time. Even HFX.
@gmail.com.
Say that again. Is somebody talking then?
I heard Pornhub.com.
I heard that. So about midget porn.
That's the best kind.
Yeah, even stuff like, you know, I just can't listen to this guy deal with. He's way over too hyped to me, so I just don't get on his sessions. But that's just personal preference. So,
but then going, you've got the basics, you've got the HFX Advance as well. So it's more in depth, and then you've got there like a live analysis sessions as well. So there is plenty to offer on here as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jake Bloomstrand is where Jason and Matt have been learning from. So he's only 22, 23. He was actually taught by Millie. He's doing very, very well now. He's very good friends with Matty Pips. So
teach me.
Yeah, he's got a good mentors, 2 mentors. Yeah, he's very good. She's smashing it. She's really good. Alet.
Yeah, I must admit, it did confuse me how they done their Fibonacci's.
Yeah, they do it body to body, don't they?
Yeah, that baffled me a bit.
Yeah, I was back testing it early on actually on Bitcoin, and I got about 13 out of 15. So I didn't try them. I was just testing them to see what it would react as. There's not much in it, you know, to be honest. Unless the wick is absolutely huge, they're going to be pretty much not far off anyway.
Oh yeah. I'm just used to wick to wick.
Yeah, that's what I've been taught. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, let's make use of this, guys. It really is massively underrated. We need to be using it a lot more. These guys, you know, they just don't come out of thin air. They have to be trial and tested for 6 months. They're watched by the company for 6 months to be able to come on here. And then I think Matty Pips is one of them. On the front page, you'll see them top watched. Let's go live here. These guys at the top here.
Yeah, the only issue is you have with their live sessions is you get so many people on them. Like Matty,
thousands, yeah.
he literally gets like 30,000 people on his live session. So
yeah, it's a lot.
Like what they teach is fucking awesome. I personally probably wouldn't take any trades on their live sessions simply because once again you got the delays and whatnot, but there's nothing stopping you from learning what they teach and putting it into practice yourself. So because I know a few guys have done cash trap on his live sessions, and like he's won and they've lost simply because there's that slight little time delay, and as we know, HFX, it is all about timing. Especially when you're doing a 1 minute trade. I can hear David on the Q&A.
You hear his voice from miles off.
Yeah, Katie's watching it. The ginger douche. Yeah, he's a ginger douche. Has anyone got any other questions?
Yeah, anything else, guys? I know we do it weekly. Well, we do it. Dean does it on Wednesday as well, but that's 3 days away. So if you're struggling with anything,
yeah, just let us know.
Yeah, or if you don't want to say anything on here, guys, if you're a bit shy, then feel free to message one of us. Happy to do a one-to-one and stuff.
Yep.
Please don't.
But you do have to send nudes.
Yeah, at least 50%
Like,
skin.
Yeah, exactly. No, I want a good 80% skin. Like, if you're not sending nudes, don't expect me to help. Give you a question. Why has he got foreskin but Jason hasn't? I'm just ruining David's Q&A. Always fun. Can't believe we allowed gingers in the team.
Ginger Ninja.
Yeah.
So,
I'd actually laugh if that gets you banned from Facebook.
let me stop this recording.